by the RBI. Let's quickly go over to Rajiv Dubey, our business editor, to give us more details on this. Rajiv, please do give us in detail the slew of measures that the RBI have released just a little while ago. He's given out a few points for ease of business and to give a booster to the shrinking economy here owing to COVID-19.
So as we were expecting, this was largely aimed at non-bank finance companies and smaller, finance companies. If you look at this, the additional window that has been provided of 50,000 crore to start with to NBFCs and microfinance institutions, basically there was already a 1 lakh crore window, and this is an additional 50,000 crore window. So that makes it 1,50,000 crore for non-bank finance companies, housing finance companies, and microfinance institutions to be able to raise money, raise resources from the banks to be able to meet their liquidity requirements so that they don't go bust. The other the major one is SIDBI, special refinance window of another 50,000 crore to SIDBI, NABARD, and National Housing Bank. Again, SIDBI caters to a lot of small and medium enterprises, so that is meant for those kind of companies and those enterprises. NABARD is for the agriculture sector, and National Housing Bank window of 10,000 crore is for the housing sector. So it seems like the big focus of this of today's initiative was in NBFCs, small enterprises, and companies that lend to small enterprises, and then of course real estate. Very, very critical move on the real estate front to allow them 1 year window over and above the year that was already allowed earlier. So real estate which had borrowed from either banks or NBFCs get about 2 years to be able to recover from this crisis, which is I think a very, very big move from the real estate point of view. And finally, asset classification not accounting for the moratorium period essentially makes it a 6-month freeze on asset classification, so that banks that have lent to enterprises which have got into some kind of financial trouble will now not be classified as non-performing assets. So to my mind, the big focus was to ensure that NBFCs are well funded and the companies that they lend to, small enterprises, agriculture sector, are their funding to them continues, and that they don't get into a crisis where their funding stops to either small enterprises or small businesses, or to the agriculture sector, or to the housing sector. So NBFC focus, real estate focus, and the fact for large enterprises that they are now going to get about 6 months of time to prepare for this and to ensure that they don't become a non-performing asset is what was clearly the focus of this address by the RBI governor.
Right. Rajiv, here we're looking at a slew of measures, but how far do you think all of this will trickle down to the ground to aid the economy, which is currently shrinking?
So, NBFCs is almost instant. NBFCs is going to be almost instant. The money has been coming into the system. The problem has been that the banks lending RBI lending to banks and banks lending to NBFCs is the big crisis there. The problem here is that when the banks take the money from RBI and then add their own margin into it, what it costs the NBFCs is very, very substantial. So one of the concerns from the NBFC's point of view has been that can't the RBI lend to NBFCs directly, which is not something the RBI does, but it is well within RBI's powers to be able to lend directly to NBFCs. But RBI has chosen not to do that. The result is that the cost to NBFCs for these funds is substantially higher, sometimes as much as 7 to 8% more than the rate at which RBI lends to banks. As a result of which, banks have been very cautious in lending to the NBFCs or to subscribing to this paper to the non-bank finance companies. and you would see that most of the subscription by banks into the NBFC paper has been of very safe nature, like Power Finance Corporation. They have not really lent to NBFCs in the order in which RBI would have required. As a result of which, what RBI has said specifically from this, this 50,000 crore the TLTRO 2.0, it is said that 50% of this money has to be given to bonds taken from small NBFCs. So that I think is a big move and a significant move at that. As far as the special refinance for SIDBI and NABARD and NHB is concerned, again 50,000 crore going into small and medium enterprises and their requirements, agriculture sector and their requirements, and housing finance sector and their requirements is a move that was the need of the hour. The very fact that commercial real estate has got this two-year window is also a big relief for the real estate companies, because many of them were in very serious trouble because the sales have practically stopped and they have their loans to pay to the banks, and the banks would have come after them if RBI hadn't come up with this. And for large enterprises, it's an immediate relief of 6 months. So they are not going to be classified as non-performing assets for at least a period of 6 months. So I think by and large, many of these moves will come into effect almost immediately. But clearly, NBFC sector is not going to be pleased with the way this is being done, because when RBI lends to banks and banks then lend to or buy corporate paper from NBFCs, basically it adds a lot of margin that banks will take, about between 4 and 8%, which NBFCs could have avoided if RBI lent to NBFCs directly. Like I said, RBI has never done that, but it is well within its powers to be able to lend directly to NBFCs. But RBI, in its wisdom, has probably for the moment chosen to not do that because of the number of NBFCs that are there in the market. Right. So if you do decide to give this directly to NBFCs, after all, which one will you give to and which one will you not give to? And it becomes a very tedious exercise, and probably RBI is not ready for it at this point in time. But if there was a provision where RBI could lend directly to NBFCs, it will be a very significant saving in terms of interest rate to the NBFC sector.
Right. Rajiv,